So we finna go ahead and react to this next video, man. The next video we reacted to is the NBA's gambling problem just got worse. That's the title of this video. I don't know if y'all heard in the news that Terry Rozier, NBA player for the Miami Heat, has currently been placed under investigation for enhancement betting, if that makes sense. Basically, to boil it all down, I guess it was a whole bunch of bets on him to get under a certain amount of points, and now it's under investigation. Way from 2003, saying that he might have something to do with, you feel me, them points going under, that he might have got them points under on purpose. So we finna go ahead and react to that. Everybody know that sports gambling in the last 2 years had been one of the biggest things ever, bro. Biggest epidemics. Like, everybody is sports gambling, from men to women. Like, it's crazy how women is sports gambling. Like, that's the thing that's been shocking me, you feel me? Even my girl, she hit me up sometime like a couple months ago, like, what's the locks? I'm like, what? The locks? Every time she asks me that, I ain't gonna lie, every time she lose, she be like, oh man, I lost a whole bunch. Be a lady, you feel me? You're not supposed to be sports gambling. I ain't even supposed to be sports gambling, let alone you. I actually watch sports. You just betting on which logo look good or which jersey look the best, you feel me? But now that sports gambling is completely legal, you feel me, LeBron promoting it, stuff like that, now it's getting out of hand, you feel me? There's a couple players that already that got looked into, a couple college teams that got looked into this year. So we finna see what this story is about.
On Thursday, that suspicious gambling activity surrounding guard Terry Rozier in a game nearly 2 years ago is now being investigated by federal prosecutors as a part of the same probe that led to the lifetime ban of former Raptors player Jonte Porter. Now, at the time, Rozier was playing for the Hornets. The Wall Street Journal, they first reported the investigation, and NBA spokesperson Mike Bass said in a statement, quote, in March 2023, the NBA was alerted to unusual betting activity related to Terry Rozier's performance in a game between Charlotte and New Orleans. The league conducted.
Oh God, it's happening again.
It's
About a
this
year
shit
after
crazy.
the bombshell Jonte Porter news, scary Terry Rozier is officially under investigation by the feds under suspicion of manipulating his play to hit prop bets. I mean, we've been here before. You guys know how this stuff goes. And with the information we have, Terry Rozier could.
See, my only thing that I just thought about is the Porter situation. I kind of understand it. Bro's a bench player, probably making league minimum, which is a lot of money for the NBA, but league minimum. Terry Rozier been getting them contracts, bro. That boy got a few M's. So if this shit wasn't worth the M's, then this shit might be a lie, you feel me?
Could be
I don't
in a
know.
world of trouble.
Might not believe this one.
Now, this case is not new and has been known about for quite some time. In fact, the NBA did their own investigation into the case already and deemed that Rozier had not broken any league rules. But fast forward nearly 2 years later, and the feds are investigating his ass, and to be honest, this looks really suspicious. Now, the game in question came on March 23rd, 2023, which happened to be the final game of Rozier's season. I mean, this was a pretty uneventful night. The Hornets sucked, the Pelicans sucked, and the two were facing off in the Battle of the Mid. But at 2 p.m. that day, the betting lines were pulled for Terry Rozier. Now, this isn't necessarily unusual, but let me explain to you why in this case it is. To avoid getting cooked by underbets, sports betting companies often pull the ability to bet on a player's performance.
That be making a lot of sense, bruh.
Potential injuries reoccurring, or irregular betting patterns that may get caught on the radar of one of these nerds that are monitoring these sportsbook trends. In Terry's case, there was zero injury concerns. He had played and started in the last 13 games while averaging 36 minutes played. The lines were never brought back up. And just 9 minutes into the game, Terry Rozier had checked out with an injury. This certainly set off some red flags as the NBA conducted their own investigation despite finding no wrongdoing. And at the time, there was some buzz that certainly something was off here. Calling Our Shot runs a sports picks channel here on YouTube and took to Twitter to say the following the night of the injury. This is fishy. Rozier had his lines taken down around 2 p.m. No notice of an injury or anything wrong all day long. Lines never came back up. Then, he only plays in one quarter and exits with an injury. I'll take my L, but this one doesn't feel right. Now, I have to agree with him here. Although
I must have bet on him, because every motherfucker that I bet on, bro, every motherfucker that I bet on get injured, bro. Every player prop, bro. If a nigga dropping 40 every night and I bet on him, I'll come fuck all that shit up, bro. That nigga go get 10 points. That nigga go get injured. That nigga go get ejected. Some fuck shit gonna happen, bro. If I bet on him, bro, that shit do not matter, bro. So I must have bet on Terry Rozier this night.
Not quite as egregious. There are certainly some similarities to what we saw from Jontay Porter, while being 1 year before his actions and punishment. On multiple occasions, Porter would be seen seemingly avoiding rebounds, and even worse, checking out of games early with fake injuries and illnesses to avoid hitting his betting lines, after previously having agreed to avoid these markers prior, as proven over his Telegram logs with multiple bettors. Now, Terry Rozier has made over $110 million in the NBA,
and that's what I'm saying.
Is only getting richer, getting $26 million from the Miami Heat this season, despite being over 30 and kind of sucking ass at this point. I mean, Jesus Christ, did the Miami Heat need any more drama this year? Which is kind of irrelevant, but kind of important, in that compared to Jontay Porter, Terry Rozier is going to be significantly harder to buy with just a few $100,000 to a couple $1 million.
Facts.
Now, after the game, FanDuel had refused to refund any and all bets, as shown in this conversation with a support agent, stating that given he played 10 minutes, the bets would not be eligible to be voided. There were certainly some people who cashed out, and one that's going viral right now is Greg Ehrenberg, who tweeted, "At least I was in on it today. Got lucky that I was fed some inside info that Rozier was leaving in the first or second quarter, depending on game flow and live lines, so that his unders would hit."
Niggas be fucking out the vibe, bro. Niggas be on some snitching shit.
"I'm not gonna say shit is rigged, but lately, NBA has been mad sus." Before Greg commented back, "Follow the right people to know when guys are leaving games early with injuries." Now, before you guys take this and run with it, let's use a little bit of critical thinking here. This guy who sells picks for a living has insider information, apparently, and places a $120 bet on Terry Rozier with a less than 2-to-1 odds.
You wasn't that confident.
On the contrary, Jontay Porter was receiving $80,000 bets with fucking 12-to-1 odds.
Damn.
I mean, this Greg guy is trying to sell his picks like gold for a living, which I don't necessarily give two shits if he does. But if this tweet isn't a joke, which it very well might be, coming out like he has some sort of insider information when a conspiracy like this is going on in gambling circles is a...
If you buying picks from a nigga who only dropping $122 on his picks, crazy work. Like, bro, you gotta drop a couple hundred, bro, for me to really believe in you. You gotta drop a couple hundred, bro. For real. No bullshit. $122 is crazy work. How much you sold me the picks for? You could have took, what the fuck?
Pretty damn good marketing gimmick, I have to give it to him. Now, if this guy Greg actually had some sort of insider information and fucking tweeted about it, I hope they double his prison sentence and then deport him to Afghanistan for admitting to felonies to sell his $10 parlays. But the deeper you dig into the Terry Rozier situation, the more it looks like this wasn't exactly just about $100 bets. According to the Wall Street Journal, Terry Rozier's March 23rd game had been flagged from the same gambling ring that 1 year later would be wrapped up for the Jontay Porter situation. Okay, this is getting weirder now. Like I said before, these guys were throwing 80 bands on Jontay Porter unders to cash out to the tune of over $1 million before the betting was halted.
What a bum!
I'm not sure exactly what kind of money was placed on Terry Rozier, as this story is still very breaking, but I don't think it'll be too long before we find out more from those who have already been convicted with the Jontay Porter ring, if this is really what the investigators are skeptical of. Now, the NBA certainly is not a fan of this stuff, as it completely puts the reputation of their brand in jeopardy, and as of right now, has only come out to say, in March 2023, the NBA was alerted to unusual betting activity related to Terry Rozier's performance in a game between Charlotte and New Orleans. The league conducted an investigation and did not find a violation of NBA rules. We are now aware of an investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York related to the matter, and have been cooperating with that investigation. When Tim Donaghy was in bed with the fucking mob, it was just one bad apple. When it was Jontay Porter, it was just one brother of a star that probably shouldn't have been in the league that got hooked on a dangerous hobby. If this proves to be unlawful, the NBA is going to be in some real hot water.
Don'tay, you get 100 M's for doing this bullshit.
The world we live in now, right? Like, these leagues are in bed with the betting companies, so is our company. And so they're inclined to deny to prove the game is clean. And then if you find a bad actor, they're inclined to throw the book at it, again, to prove that they are clean. I just feel like there's so much sketchy in this situation where you don't get a federal investigation,
I can't believe it, bro.
a story in a reputable newspaper like the Wall Street Journal, or a name attached, whether there's some meat to the bone. And in this case, I feel like there's some sketchy details here. The fact that this happened in a late March game for a lost season for the Charlotte Hornets, where they clearly were probably tanking for a better draft pick. The fact that this happened when sportsbooks allegedly pulled him from prop bets because there was some unusual activity around it. So what I think we all deserve right now from the NBA is a ton of transparency of exactly what their investigation revealed and how we ended up at this point.
Crazy.
Now
They got
again,
the
Terry
feds
Rozier has
in
not
on
been
this shit.
charged or accused of any crimes, and I'm not doing that at all either. What I am accusing is that for a player's lines to be pulled midday with no injury concerns, just for him to go out there and play 10 minutes, then injure himself
It's
late in the
suspicious.
season on a non-contending team on a non-contract year.
Yeah, I get it.
This is far too suspicious to be ignored. And this is far from just an NBA problem. Authorities are scrutinizing as many as 7 college programs over allegations that players bet on their own games or attempted to manipulate game outcomes during the 23-24 season. The Eastern District of Pennsylvania's U.S. Attorney's Office is specifically investigating a Temple basketball game from March when the first half betting line shifted dramatically in favor of UAB after opening with UAB as a slight 1.5 point favorite. UAB went on to lead by 15 at halftime, and the betting activity was flagged as suspicious. Former Temple player Fab Miller, who was later dismissed from Virginia Tech for unspecified reasons, is now under investigation for his potential involvement. Authorities are also looking into a Loyola player, while a January game between Eastern Michigan and Central Michigan has drawn scrutiny for irregular betting patterns as well. I mean, Jonte Porter is going to jail. Any of these college kids who are likely pretty damn broke will likely serve some time as well if proven to be guilty. And now, a well over $100 million man
Exactly, bro.
has
I
his
can't go
face
for
on
this.
every news station in America.
I can't go for
We're
this
in a
one.
sports gambling era at this point. This mega industry is not going away anytime soon. And if the NBA doesn't get a hold of this, this is going to cause more damage to their reputation than any other event in NBA history. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're trying.
I ain't gonna lie, man. W video. Like he was saying about the situation, bro, it's kind of hard to believe that Terry Rozier has something to do with that, bro. Because like I said, Porter, that boy wasn't getting no money like that. You feel me? He was getting league minimum, probably getting $1 million a year. His brother just hit like a $300 million contract, $200 million contract. So you trying to keep up, you feel me? Like, I understand that situation, especially you getting $1 million off each parlay that you put in on yourself. You putting up 80 to get an M. You probably ran off with a couple like 5, 10, you feel me? Before you got caught, banned for life. But Terry Rozier, bro, got 100 M's, you feel me? Done probably got paid out 100 M's. Not only that, he also got another contract on the table for like 200 M's or some shit like that, you feel me? Probably about to get another 20, 30 M's a year. Niggas ain't risking that, bro. So I understand the allegations. The sports ban shit getting kind of tricky, you feel me? I feel you though. Everybody on point. Shit do seem suspicious. Injured out of nowhere. But like I said, shit like that be happening. I feel like that should be happening to me. Majority of the bets be on one person, nigga get injured. Or the nigga go on, like, it be weird, bro. But him, I don't see him risking it. You feel me? That's just my opinion. But whatever.